A family in Kempton Park on Gauteng's East Rand wants answers after the University of Johannesburg provisionally accepted their child and later rejected the student. Sandakasle Mapumulo is part of the matric class of 2024, which recorded the highest pass rate in the history of South Africa. Let's touch base with Newsroom Africa's Ngobile Madlala. She brings us the story. Ngobile, good afternoon. I can't imagine how frustrating this must be for the parents and the students who are involved, especially now that we're counting down to the start of the tertiary academic year.
Very difficult indeed, Michelle. In fact, if you look at the marks that I'm carrying of Sandakasle, basically he's passed with all sixes and a 7, which basically looks at probably the points that are over 36, because we know that in the point system you've got about 1 to 7, and that's how they calculate. So if you take out the life orientation, it's probably looking at 36, 37 points. With life orientation, it goes up to over 40. Now, this is something that would have been really great for him, especially because he was a learner that was also accepted at UJ, being told provincially that he is one of the best performers, and this is the letter that we have here. However, after leaving KZN and coming to Johannesburg, hoping that he's going to get to UJ and get his space, he unfortunately found himself with more problems than solutions. So I'm going to bring in now his aunt to speak to us about this. And I know you come in as a parent in this case because his parents are in KZN, but he's had to leave Johannesburg because he couldn't get answers.
Yes, when he came here, he was very devastated because when he came here, he thought when he goes straight to UJ, they will help him. Only to find out when he goes there, things are getting worse. So they told him that they will open the portal for him to register. But we waited and then nothing happened. We tried to call, then we didn't get any answer. So he was even crying to say, but I worked so hard for the whole year and then this is what I'm getting. What am I going to do the whole year? You know. And
you were telling me he had a bursary of some sort?
Yes, he had a bursary that they were going to pay for his studies for the year. But now he ended up accepting another offer at KZN, but there will be no bursary there. So, and at home, the situation is not as good as they will be able to even pay his fees.
And Karabo, you the cousin that had to go to UJ with him and obviously understand what was taking place. What did they tell you?
So when we went to UJ, since he got accepted, they've been trying to call to get him to register. When he got there, the whole point of the story was they told him that they'd open the portal for him because he's one of the high achievers. But when we called later on, they told us that there's nothing they can do, and space was full. And our argument was that we've been trying to register ever since he got admitted. It's not something that we started at that very moment. And they were just like, there's nothing they can do and there is no space. And I think it's heartbreaking to see someone who works so hard for the whole year and this to be the result of it, because it's really discouraging to anyone, who's going into matric right now.
And you were taking me through the process, what you guys had gone through. What was happening on the system? You said at some point it was giving you an error.
Yes. The portal would just crash down while he's trying to register and wouldn't be able to to register for all these modules. Every time he tried, it would just crash, and would always be calling and would just tell us to be patient and it will work later on. But then this was the ultimate result, and it was really heartbreaking to see him go through that as a family member.
So what was he going to study?
He was going to study a BSc in mathematics, so he was really passionate about stats, and science. So it was really encouraging to see him pursue his dreams, but now he has to opt for something else that he didn't think was going to be his option.
Do you know what this option is now?
I think it's a degree in technology, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so it's something really different from what he was going to study at UJ, which was one of his, following his passion. So it really was not the greatest thing to see and experience.
All right. And just as we close, Mama, I want to know what you would like to see happen now.
So maybe what we can, I think it will be better if maybe UJ can just explain to us how they accept these kids and what can they do from here. Because even if when you go through social media, you see a lot of kids that are complaining about UJ rejected them with good results. But we really don't understand what we need to do actually from our side.
Thank you very much for speaking to us. Well, Michelle, that's the family that is concerned about, obviously, Sandagahle at this moment, as we know that he has had to leave and go back to KZN to go look for his second option, mainly because he didn't get that assistance that he was hoping for. But we are reaching out to UJ. They have accepted that they will speak to us to give us details in terms of what really happened here.